In the ancient city of Cyprus, around 300 BC, lived a prosperous trader named Zeno. One day, while on a voyage from Phoenicia to Piraeus, his boat tragically sank, taking with it all his cargo. This single catastrophic event, entirely beyond Zeno's or anyone else's control, transformed him from a wealthy man to a poor one in an instant. Imagine yourself in Zeno's shoes. How would you react to witnessing your life's work disappear due to an uncontrollable force of nature? What would be the appropriate reaction? Would you feel anger, sadness, or perhaps a sense of being cheated by life? For most people, these reactions would be quite normal. However, Zeno, who later became the father of Stoicism, responded differently. A small change can last forever, and a minor shift in mindset can lead to significant, impactful changes over time. The essence of Stoicism is acceptance and detachment. After studying the works of Socrates and other great philosophers, Zeno developed and taught Stoicism. According to him, while we may not have much control over the events that happen to us, we do have control over how we let these events affect us, and we must exercise this control effectively. Instead of mourning the loss of his goods, Zeno chose to maintain his composure, staying calm and neutral despite his dire predicament. Today, people often perceive Stoics as individuals who cannot be broken, who seldom experience extreme emotions, and who avoid fits of rage or bouts of anxiety. However, the original concept of Stoicism was much deeper. It wasn't just a term to describe unemotional people. Stoicism was a comprehensive way to view, describe, and understand the world. It was a way of life, and this way of life has endured through the centuries. Stoic philosophy can be applied to contemporary situations just as effectively as it was thousands of years ago, and its benefits remain just as significant. Stoicism allows us to process negative emotions stemming from adverse experiences and transform them into thoughts that offer a unique perspective on life. Perspective is everything, and everyone's experiences shape their distinct viewpoints. The Stoics gathered, discussed, and taught their philosophy in public places, making their principles widely known. They believed that Stoic teachings could benefit everyone, regardless of social status, so they saw no reason to confine their knowledge behind the walls of a school or palace. Consequently, people from all walks of life, from slaves to emperors, could learn and embrace Stoicism, and many did. Among the most notable Stoics were Epictetus, who was once a slave, Seneca, a renowned statesman, and Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the most powerful men in history. The early Stoics practiced what they preached, avoiding all forms of segregation and leading the fight against inequality. They even coined the word cosmopolitan, meaning citizen of the world. Today, we associate this term with diverse cities like New York, Toronto, Dubai, and London, reflecting the unity and togetherness the Stoics advocated. At the time of Stoicism's foundation, women were generally not permitted to pursue philosophy. However, the Stoics strongly opposed this exclusion. Musonius Rufus, the teacher of Epictetus, once stated, "It is not men alone who possess eagerness and a natural inclination towards virtue, but women also. Women are pleased no less than men by noble and just deeds and reject the opposite of such actions. Since that is so, why is it appropriate for men to seek out and examine how they might live well? That is, to practice philosophy, but not women?" Even when it was unpopular, the Stoics allowed women to freely learn about and practice Stoicism. So why do so many people adopt Stoicism as a way of life? In a world full of unexpected turns, our emotions often get in the way. We don't truly get sad because bad things happen to us. We get sad because unexpected bad things happen to us. Rain, for example, is beneficial. It waters plants, provides water for livestock, and keeps the temperature cool. Yet, when a dark cloud catches you outside without an umbrella, it's never a pleasant experience. So why don't we cry when it rains? Because, although the situation is uncomfortable, we've learned to expect rain. It's unavoidable, and while it might be unpleasant, it passes, and the light returns. Stoicism teaches us to expect that everything bad that can happen will happen. Picture the worst outcome and be content knowing it could happen. One of the Stoic exercises is known as voluntary discomfort, aimed at increasing feelings of gratitude. This might involve sleeping on the kitchen floor, taking cold showers instead of hot ones, or eating nothing but potatoes for a few days. Such exercises help you understand that no matter how tough things get, you can survive and even thrive if your mindset is right. By enduring these uncomfortable situations, we mentally prepare for future adversities. In today's world, where advertisements constantly bombard us with messages that we need the latest gadgets or lifestyle to be happy, this Stoic message is more relevant than ever. We enter the world knowing little, learning from home, school, and our observations. Often, these sources teach us different things. The question is, should we internalize all this knowledge? If we do, we might set unrealistic expectations for our lives, leading to disappointment and dissatisfaction. That's no way to live. Instead, we should focus on self-improvement for its own sake, doing things for their intrinsic value rather than for external validation. Attaching external hopes to our actions often leads to disappointment. We often try to fill our emptiness with external things, spending money on luxury items, starting a family, or pursuing status. Sometimes, these pursuits are driven by their external value rather than their intrinsic worth. Stoicism, however, teaches that placing happiness in external factors puts it in the hands of forces that can fail. Cars break down, natural disasters destroy cities, and divorce rates rise. Even the free things in life come at a cost, the cost of space, both physical and mental. As Seneca once wrote, learning to live with less will create space in your life for the things that truly matter to you. Instead, we should base our happiness on our intrinsic value, not on physical possessions. We must strive to maintain a calm demeanor, regardless of life's challenges. We cannot control most of what happens to us, but we can control our reactions. This is the dichotomy of control, the core principle of Stoic philosophy. In the words of Epictetus, the chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters, so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Stoics teach us to distinguish what we can control from what we cannot. Our value should come from what we can control, not from things beyond our control. Striving towards goals is admirable, but breaking down when things don't go your way is, from a Stoic perspective, futile. Creating YouTube videos, while easier than being a Roman emperor, can still be challenging. You must develop your idea, research it, script the video, create it, edit it, make the thumbnail, and title it, all before hitting upload. Once you click upload, control shifts to the YouTube algorithm. Still, many people judge the success of their YouTube channel or Instagram account based on views and followers, metrics largely beyond their control. Stoics teach that instead, you should judge the success of your work by the effort you put in, not the external outcome. Trust the process. Living with less means freeing yourself from the societal handcuffs you've essentially placed on yourself. Consider someone who has been working diligently at their job for 6 months. He believes he deserves a promotion and presents his performance report to his boss, who thanks him but does not grant the promotion. He returns home feeling inadequate, not considering that the boss might have been in a bad mood. Someone else might have been better qualified, or the company couldn't afford it. He doesn't know the reason, but he's still upset. If he valued the quality of his report and continued his efforts, he could be happier overall. His goal wouldn't be diminished, just postponed. This mindset shift is crucial. A true Stoic measures success not by financial gain, but by the ability to live comfortably without material wealth. Stoicism is built on 4 main virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Wisdom is the ability to distinguish between what is internal and what is external, and to choose our reaction. Viktor Frankl once said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and that space is our power to choose our response." Courage can be encapsulated in 2 words: persist and resist. Temperance, or moderation, means doing more with less and saying more with fewer words. While billionaires compete for the top spots on Forbes' list, Stoics believe that wealth should be limited to what is essential and sufficient. Justice, the most crucial virtue, teaches that we should not harm others, as we are all born to help each other, not just ourselves. Nelson Mandela, one of the most famous leaders in the world, fought against apartheid and was imprisoned for 27 years before becoming South Africa's president. Many expected him to seek revenge, but he did not. During his imprisonment, Mandela read Marcus Aurelius' works and embraced Stoic principles, practicing them throughout his life. Instead of seeking retribution, He urged his people to relax and rebuild, focusing on what they could control, the future. In modern medicine, Stoicism is at the heart of procedures like rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, and logotherapy. REBT helps patients identify negative thought patterns causing emotional and behavioral issues, challenging these thoughts with logic, and replacing them with healthier beliefs. Logotherapy is based on the Stoic principle that humans are driven by purpose. Even in the darkest situations, we can find meaning and happiness by discovering our purpose. This process, like everything else, takes time and effort. We must rewire our thinking, replacing old patterns with new ones. To address happiness issues, we must practice self-worth. By basing our value on what we can control, we stop fixating on the uncontrollable, leading to a happier, more fulfilling life. Stoicism helps us navigate through past and present storms towards calmer waters. If our ship sinks and we drown, we can find peace knowing we lived a good life, even if not as long as we hoped. Remember, everything has an end. Stoicism's teachings on acceptance, emotional regulation, and purposeful living are increasingly relevant in today's fast-paced, unpredictable world. By embracing these principles, we can cultivate resilience, maintain inner peace, and lead a more meaningful life, regardless of external circumstances. Whether dealing with personal setbacks or societal challenges, Stoicism offers timeless wisdom to help us navigate the complexities of human existence.